notes, like it's supposed to be, I can't get G and D, but
Yeah.
you have it A and D.
Do
But you
I?
meant it, but you meant it to be G and
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Did I do that? Was that on the written thing that I sent out?
Yeah, but I assume because I missed that night, you guys might have figured it out that night, and then you didn't update the written, unless I'm wrong.
I have it written D and D, the correction. D and D, it's an octave apart, that one.
D and D.
It's
One,
D and D.
it's the third bar, the second note, second.
Oh, it's D and D.
D and D. Yes, that's right.
I got it wrong again because I had it as G and
Oh,
G and
okay,
D.
so that's the octave. Yeah, that's the octave that we're doing there. A3 and open D, right? Yeah, 2 Ds. Good question though. Oh, hi, Kat.
It's gonna disappear as soon as I play something.
Oh, another cat that doesn't like fiddle, that doesn't like Irish and Scottish.
I don't think he likes any fiddle music at all.
Oh, it was so funny in my beginner class. Yeah, that's right. In my beginner class, we have Bill Surfless, who is 87, and he's a great guy. And he talks about how his cat doesn't like the music, and so they have to put him in jail for the class, right? For the Zoom class, put him in a different room. And when I started up the class on Tuesday, he was saying something to his wife, and he was muted. And so I said, Bill, are you okay there? And he goes, well, we're trying to find the cat. And I was like, oh, and he says, he won't come out unless you play something. Like, you have to play something, then he'll get mad. And so I had to play a tune, and then the cat made an appearance, and Bill got it and took it and put it in jail. It's very funny.
So it was the cat came back, right?
That's right. Yeah. He keeps coming back. My God. Anyway, there's Susan. How you doing, Susan? Yeah, good. I was heeding your words today when we had a meeting with our contractor. We had our lawyer look over the contract and just a few changes. It was really good, actually. But I was thinking about your story with the guy who reneged on everything, and then you had to take him to court, and then he died of a heart attack. Oh my God!
I didn't cause it.
No, I know. I know.
And he kept threatening. Every time I said, you really have to finish this, he goes, oh.
Oh.
But then he did die.
But then he did die. Oh my God. It's insane. So anyway, yeah, so it was good to make sure that was all sorted and we won't have any deaths on the...
Can I tell a funny story about the cat came back?
What's that now?
So there was this couple in St. Catharines, and the man loved his cat. This is a true story. Loved the cat, but the wife hated the cat. And in the middle of winter, she drove the cat out to barren lands and just dumped it in like minus 20 degrees, right?
No.
So a couple of weeks later, the cat came back, and he came in the house and he sat on her fur coat and he peed on it.
I don't blame her.
Smart cat.
Yeah. Now I have a cat story, but it's rather grisly, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Is my mom's story, because she grew up in the Depression, right? And people had cats, but it was mostly for pest control, right? In those days, nobody really wanted, it wasn't like cuddly situation. Anyway, they had this cat, and Mom's mother was really sick. She had, I can't remember what she had. She had an aneurysm, that's right. And she barely recovered. She was really sick. And so the dad had this German housekeeper looking after everybody. And the housekeeper hated the cat, like hated the cat. And one day, the housekeeper took hot bacon fat from the stove because the cat was bothering her and dumped it on the cat. It was just awful, terrible, right? And of course, so Mom's dad freaked right out and fired the German housekeeper, got rid of her, and then the cat was suffered. So he did what they did in those days, was put it in a burlap sack and take it down to the harbor and throw it in the water, which he did. 2 weeks later, the cat came back with nasty wounds like this, and he had to do it all again. Like, oh my God. Anyway, sorry to be a downer.
That's a relief.
Sorry, Beth.
Yeah, really sorry about that. Anyway, okay, so we'll get started. We'll get warmed up here. So we always warm up with a nice G major scale. We'll do... I'm going to mute everybody. We're going to do a slow one first, for tuning, where you tune your notes. Okay, make sure if you're not in tune, bring it up into tune. So we're going to do a slow one first, then we're going to do a fast one as a tester. And I want to see how everybody did when we go fast, okay? We'll do the arpeggio as well. Scale and then arpeggio, a slow tuner, and then a fast one to see how we do. Let's do it. And I am recording, yes, okay, that's good. Ready? Oh, I'm going to turn my tuner on, keep us all honest. There we go. Okay. Ready? Go. Arpeggio. All right, now hopefully everybody was able to tune to that quite handily and get everything in tune. Poor Bev's string, it looks like is that your your G string is misbehaving there, Bev? Looks like the G string. Is your string in tune now there, Bev? Okay, good, yeah. Okay, the G string is a tough one. The vibrations move slow. Sometimes it's hard to hear if you're out of tune or not until you really play it a lot. So now, we're going to do a fast tester. So it's going to be kind of like this. Okay, and then I'm going to ask for percentages and see how everybody did for their batting average. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, go! Arpeggio, ready, go! All right, so how are the batting averages? How do people do? Who? Terrible. Okay, let's do it again. Yeah, Sue as well? Okay, let's just do it again right away. Try to anticipate the changes you gotta make. Ready, 2, 3, go. Arpeggio, ready, go. All right, is it better? That's good. That's much better. Okay, and you just remember you want to listen for your problem notes. When you're going fast, that's what tells you which ones are still a problem. Okay, now let's try some double stop practice in the key of G. All right, we'll go nice and slow, give you a chance to get the nice sound with your bow. Because if you're going along and it doesn't sound good, just try to make the changes. Okay. Here we go. Great, nice double stop practice in the key of G. Ready, and... Now that might have been a little fast. So we'll do it again. We'll take our time a little bit more. Give yourself a chance to get your fingers prepared before you do it. So let's go slower. Nice slow bow. Ready, and... All right, now there's a few sour faces. So I'd like to see what's going on. Claire, I noticed your sour face first. Tell me what was going wrong when you tried to do that double stop.
I just don't know how to do them.
You don't know how to do them, yeah.
Period.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now, yep.
Did you send out a thing? Because if you sent out a thing, it would be nice if you sent me the thing and then I could learn to do it.
So you mean just like which ones I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Now let me see. I do have it here. Double stop practice somewhere.
But you gotta remember the correction too.
Yes. I think I did the correction. Here it is. Okay, this is it here. Double stop. Oh, I see. Let me see, because I did correct it. I'm just going to make sure I send you the right one. Yes, good. And that's got the corrections in it. Okay, so I'm going to send it to you right now, and we'll try it again. Double stop practice. Doible. Okay, now that is off to Claire, so that'll help you, Claire. I thought when you said you didn't know how to do it that you were talking about your bow. And so I'll just give you the lowdown before you try it again with the bow, just to make sure I say it. But the common thing for double stops is to push down till you're getting both strings, okay? And that all that does is give you kind of a choky, crunchy sound. And it can also put you flat. So you want to do it by angle, okay? You want to make sure you got the right angle to be on two strings and then just go. This is what happens when you push down. See that? This is what happens when you just angle it. It's lovely. Isn't that lovely? Like two bells ringing at the same time. It's just lovely, okay? So that's how to do the double stops. And now that you know which ones are which, I think that will make it easier. Now, who else is having trouble that wants to talk about their troubles? Yes, Deb.
It's just reading the notes quickly, and because now I have those penciled changes in,
Yeah.
that throws me because
Oh, yeah.
I actually had the wrong penciled mark out, so that threw me. But
Okay. Don't be afraid to put numbers in there, eh? That can really kind of lessen your variables if you just put your finger numbers in there, like if you're when you make the correction, because you can kind of read that at a glance. It might make it a little easier.
yeah, I just have to go slow.
We'll go slow. We'll go slow. We'll do it again and go really, really slow. Anybody else have troubles they want to talk about?
I just have a question, Dan. So you were talking about there was a mistake in there. Is that where on the third bar with the D and the B?
Yeah, that's supposed to be a D and a D.
A D and a D. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Or, yeah, a D and a D is fine. I actually was doing the fifth. That's what I was doing there. It was kind of a new thing, though. And then there's the A major underneath. Oh, look at that. I added that, and so that's going to be D3 and A3 for that one. The one finger double stop across both strings. Okay, for that one. But there's so many that you can do. These are just examples. Okay.
So the one where I was doing the G and the D was okay too then.
Yep, that's fine. The G and the D is fine. That's totally fine. Yes. If you're adventurous, you can play the fifth, which is the D and the D. But like I said, I think I added that. I think that was kind of an expansion because I wanted to up the game a little bit. So and it's a hard one. The fifth is a hard one. So that's when you play your D, the A3, you can put it your A3 on the D as well. So play D3 and A3 at the same time. That's a fifth. Yeah, that looks like it there, Deb. Yeah, and it's a hard one. Here it is in tune. It's a hard one, but it's a handy one because there's so many tunes that go. See that? Very handy trick. You get that, you get half of Irish music, I'll tell you. Okay? So anyway, let's try it again. Really, really slow. You can figure it out as we go along. Ready, go. All right, that go a little better that time? That's great. Keep at it. It's slow going with the double stops to get the right touch and the feeling with your two fingers at the same time. So we'll just keep at it. We'll keep looking at it and improving it little by little. Anybody have any questions about that? Claire looks like she still has questions. No? Okay. It's new. I know this is new for you, Claire. We haven't done it. Like, I'm trying to think of when we used to do lessons, and we didn't really touch on double stops very much. It was more the more fundamental stuff back in those days, eh? Yeah. So this will be challenging. These guys have been at it for a good few weeks now, trying to do the double stops. The first going off was definitely a bit hairy for some people. So it takes a little doing to get the double stops. Let's do it one more time. Last time. Okay, here we go. Real nice and slow. I'll do long bows. Ready, go. Getting a little bit better? A bit? Okay, good.
I was doing everything down bow.
That's okay. Jeez, you know.
I'm forgetting to do this.
Sometimes I wonder about that. Like, it's really good. I was working with a girl today. Her dad is Scottish. She's called Fiona. She's 10. And I've taught her 2 times. And right away I can tell this girl has an ear, right? Because she's playing a scale and her third finger, she's only got one piece of tape on her fiddle, and she puts her third finger down, and she can tell it's too sharp. Her little face gets all screwed up as she's moving the finger around, you know. And the other thing she noticed and pointed out was the difference between down bow and up bow. That's pretty astute to realize that in your first little while of playing the violin. And we talked about the difference between down bow and up bow. Down bow is your strong one, right? You got the gravity is going for you. It's easy to move the bow straight on the down bow, and that's why it's our stronger note. The up bow is more difficult. Now in Juilliard, they take it to the extreme, and they blindfold each other and try to make the down bow and the up bow identical. Now, apparently, all the violinists I've talked to, nobody's ever achieved it. Yehudi Menuhin came the closest, apparently, but one of the other guys in the class could tell the difference between the up bow, so he still hadn't achieved it. So it's a big thing with violin, the difference between down bow and up bow. It's good to pay attention to, and I'm sure you guys noticed that double stops ups the game with it. The up bow ones feel a lot different than the down bow. So I'm always going back and forth. Should we just do down bows for a while and then do up bows, you know? But I think this combo is fine. But it's good that you notice the difference.
But you know, I think the other thing is that it's when you're going down and you're looking at the notes, you're looking at them bottom up or whatever.
Yeah.
And when you're coming back, all of a sudden your position changes and you switch how you look at the note, and you're always supposed to be looking at the bottom note, right?
Yeah.
Or at the top. You're supposed to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
But when you switch to the other bow, you switch how you look at it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it affects everything. Now, I would go with the top note. I think the top note is more reliable. In most cases on this exercise, for instance, if I just played the top notes, it would be... Let me see, I'd have to boot it up here and see. Yeah. So it would be... See, it would just kind of form the arpeggio. So that's kind of more like the melody, if you know what I mean. All right? And most of the time when you see a double stop, the top note is going to be the melody. The bottom note is going to be the accompaniment note. See what I mean? Most of the time, not always. Okay? I'm trying to think of when I was a kid, we used to play in church constantly because my mom was the choir director and my parents were both super Catholics. They had 12 kids and all that kind of thing. And so we played in the choir for most of the events. And the Catholic Book of Worship had 4-part harmony written for all of the hymns, right? And me and Marty used to get bored and we would try playing the harmony parts along with the choir. Really fun. Like, I remember now, it was good practice. My God, great practice. But in those pieces, the melody was always the top line. Always. All the harmony parts were below it. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Anyway, so now, last time we made an attempt at E minor. And I think we should do it again. Okay? So the E minor scale. This is one that we have to do extended. So we're going to start on E, that's D1. We're going to go all the way up to the high B, okay? And then we're going to go all the way down to the low B, okay? We could actually go to G, but I find it screws with the ear and makes you think you're a G major at the end, so it's kind of weird. So we're going to start on the E. Here is the E for you to tune to. Okay, so let's give it a go. Here we go. Ready? And... right, how's that? Everybody feeling the sad vibes of E minor? Yeah? It gets even sadder when you play Scottish music in this key. Let's do it again, right away. Ready, go. Okay, now let's do an arpeggio right away. We're going to start on the low B. The next note is going to be an E. Ready? Go. Okay, so if you're wondering and you're forgetting what's in that arpeggio, we got the low B, we got the E on the D string, D1, we got the 3, the G on the D string, and then we got A1, which is the B, and then we got the open E, we got the G, the E2 close, and the high B. So let's try it again, okay? We'll start at that low B, G2. Ready, go. E, G, B, E, G, B. Okay, how's that feeling? It's great practice on your high B, guys, that arpeggio. And I don't know if you noticed, but I slide into my high B. I mean, I'm a fiddle player, so I slide into pretty well every note that I play. But the high B is especially good to slide into. And it's a very small slide. And it's a nice slide. You hear that? It's really kind of, it gives a little life to the note. High B is a weak note. You know, even when you get it in tune, it's not the strongest. So a little swoop is good. A little speedier bow is good. Okay? Anyway, so that's that. Shall we practice our set so far? And then we'll learn Malcolm Finley. So Huntington, Bogalogan, Sweet Molly, and the 9-pint coggy. That's what we have so far. I loved your video, Mel. Mel sent me a video of Huntington Castle, and I thought it was really good. And we talked about getting the bow moving, you know. That was the thing I noticed the most was that. Just at first, very tentative. And I'll tell you, here's what it sounds like when your bow is tentative. Because this is kind of what I noticed. And it got good. That's the thing. It got really good. So when it first started, it was kind of like this. And then, after a while, it just started to move and free right up, you know. And it helped your intonation, too. Okay? It was really, I thought it got a lot better. Now, that's one of the nice things about a slow air. It gives you time as you're playing it to get things a little bit better like that. So make sure you move that bow in a slow air. Okay, yes, Deborah?
So I wasn't here when you guys had started to learn this one.
Okay.
So in Sandy's book, it has a lot of slurs. Are we to do the slurs?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
No slurs.
there's Sandy's idea.
Okay, I figured it wasn't because I find when you slur, it drags.
It can, and some of the slurs are nice. Now, when I'm saying don't do them, that's just to get the tune, eh? Like, you can do whatever slurs you want. There's so many beautiful ways to bow this tune, you know. There's nothing but diversity when it comes to that. But a good start is just regular single bow, unless you have to do an up-up or some other turnaround like that. But otherwise, just one bow per note. Now, if you're getting along good and that feels good and you want to put some slurs in, here's what I would normally do. Now, did I do a video of bowing for this tune? I did a video of bowing for a tune. Calada is saying yes. Okay, good. So you can refer to it. I'm pretty sure I did make one, but check this out. See that? See, and it's just basically
Bongo.
kind of, yeah. And what it is it's preparing to come down for that downbeat. Because like I said, your down is your strong note. You always want to save the down for those long, important notes. Now, it is a little bit controversial. I remember Allie Bain and my father talking in a bar in Baltimore, Ireland, about which one was more beautiful, the down bow or the up bow. And all I remember was Dad coming out of the room because we were going back to the hotel, and Allie yelling out the door, "The beauty is in the down bow, Lloyd! The beauty is in the down bow!" So I don't know if Dad disagreed or if they were just kind of talking about it in general, but it is a bit of a thing. But I maintain that for you guys, your down bow is going to be your strong note. And so you want to use that for your down beats and the first notes of your phrase as much as you can. Otherwise, though, if in doubt, single bow it. It's going to work. For this particular tune, it will work. Okay? Anyway, let's give it a go, shall we? And we're just going to try playing the whole set there, guys. Okay, one time for the slow air, and then 2 times for everything else. Here we go. Ready, and... up a little bit and start bogalogging again. How did Huntington go, though? Before we go along there, was Huntington nice? That's good. You having some fun with the bowing? You hear what I'm talking about with the bow? You started doing a little bit. That's good. That's really good. And have fun with it. Try different combos because there's nothing but nice things that you can do. Now, so we'll start the bogalogging. You got that, Claire? No? Let me send you the music that I have for it here. Take me 1 second. Bogs. Here we go.
So Dan, what's the order of the tunes?
We got Huntington, Bogaloggin, Sweet Molly, 9 Pint Coggy, and Malcolm Finley at the end.
Thank you.
And there's another tune, Johnny Wilmot's Fiddle. I don't know if it's getting to be a long set, but my family used to play a tune called Johnny Wilmot's Fiddle at the end. That is just wicked. It's a wicked tune. It's an E minor Cape Breton tune by a guy called Elmer Briand. I think you guys are going to love it, but we'll see how we get along with what we have.
Send us the music just for fun.
I will. No, and I found music for it miraculously. I found it on the internet the other night. I was teaching another student. They wanted to learn it, and we found it together. So anyway, so we'll have a crack at it. I think you guys are going to love it. So anyway, you get that bogalogging now, Claire? Isn't life amazing? A click of a button and you got the music. My dad used to drive across the island to borrow a book to photocopy. Okay, bogalogging. Let's give it a go. Not too fast. And twice. 1, 2. Wait, what? We got the house. Yay! We got the house. We're moving in. Yay! Oh, God. Heat in the winter. Isn't that great? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, somebody's not muted. Oh, sorry. I didn't mute her. I usually do. Is that everybody? Yes, that's everybody. Okay. 1, 2, 3. How are we getting along with Bogaloggin? Claire, did I send you the wrong thing? No, I don't think so.
It was the right thing, but I think it's not exactly what you're playing.
Let me see. I'm terrible for that. Oh, it's just, yeah. I play a little F in there. Yeah, a little F in there.
Just after that E quarter note.
Yeah. So basically, it's like an E and an F eighth notes.
Okay.
Yeah, that might help. Now I'm gonna try to see. That's all good. Same there. Yeah, same there. The rest should check out okay, though. Okay, let's go a little bit slower for Claire's sake there. It's a pretty new tune for her, and we can all use the work for sure. No question about it. Whenever you got to go slower, all you got to do is just try to play it all in tune. And then it becomes very challenging. Okay, so a little bit slower. And I'll read the music so I don't confuse anybody this time. Put it off to the side. This off to the side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... One more. Is that a little bit better, Claire? Yeah, you're on to more of it there. Now, the other thing I will add is that the better version, we found this on the session.org because it's big and easy to read, right? But the better version is in Sandy's book, which I'm not sure. I think you have that book, don't you?
It's tiny.
It's tiny.
It's so tiny.
In Sandy's book. It's very small, but it's much more like what I'm playing, basically, with the timing and everything. Yes, Deborah.
But you're repeating. Okay, so when you're repeating the second at the end, you repeat it again.
Yeah.
But I don't. I want to go right back to. Like, I don't see anything to say that you're just playing this one bar. I'm not explaining this very well. So you know when you end a spot, you have the two little dots. So
Yeah.
you've done that section.
Yeah. Well, that means the 2 dots means repeat.
Yes, and okay, yes, repeat. But repeat from where? Because I want to go back up.
No.
You're only going on the last line.
Yeah, and that's a little problem that they have here. Whoever wrote this out on the session.org, when you have a repeat sign, usually you have a start repeat. Now, if you look, which this does not have.
Oh.
If you look very carefully at the end of the second last line, there is a double bar line there.
There is, but I want to go back up. I don't want to go to the end of this line. I want to go back up.
Well, you can't. You're not allowed.
I can't because there's no other little double bar.
That's right. So, and actually, so what's
solid for you.
What's that?
Make it solid for you, like handwrite it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to because I'm getting mixed up because
Yes.
I keep stopping and I'm looking to. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not just me then. Okay.
No, it's not just you, and it's not properly notated. Usually there would be a start and end repeat to make it clear where you go back to. Now, a lot of the time you don't get that. So I think the rule of thumb, Jen just walked by, so I can't ask her, but I think the rule of thumb is that if there's not a start repeat, you go back to the last double bar line you see, and that's where you repeat from.
There's no start repeat. You go back to the beginning.
Oh, no, Jennifer says I'm wrong. You have to go right back to the beginning. So this is an error on the session.org. Yeah, there's not in this
The only
tune.
time there should be an end bracket without a start.
I know, but you see, people that write out Celtic music are uneducated, and they don't know what they're doing.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Anyway, so there should be a start repeat at the beginning of that line and at the beginning of the first and second line as well. Okay? Just to be clear. And you're right. It's definitely written out wrong. But Claire, to clarify what you're used to with Bogalogan, Sandy's book would be way more close to what everybody plays for Bogalogan than the session.org. We had already talked about that. We decided to go with this one because Sandy's book is very small and it's hard to read. You know what I mean? Like in there, I'll show you.
But it does have correct repeats written in it.
It does. You're correct. Yes. But this is it. See, it's really small. It's really so a lot of people had trouble with that. But you could blow it up or whatever. But it's much more accurate than the session.org. But
You know what else I find helps? If you're listening to a piece of music and you watch the music as you listen to it, like listen to it while you watch the music, and then you can write little notes to yourself, and then you know where that if it's not written down correctly.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things we're doing in this class is not getting stuck to versions, right? Being able to play a version while somebody else is playing a slightly different version along with you. Because that's one of the big things. Oh, see you there, Blue Zoo Leader. That's one of the big things that kind of defines really good players from people that are just kind of learning, like people that are just kind of learning. They get thrown really easy by that, right? But us in the business, I'll play a different version next to Brian. It's fun. We have fun with it. And so we're trying to get to that point too, especially using the session.org, because the session.org is notorious. And so I'm trying to help everybody to find the decent version. I call it the cleanest dirty shirt, and use it as best you can in combination with the ear, just like you mentioned, you know, in combo. Anyway, so there you go. So that's Bogalogan. I think we can put that to bed for now. We'll give Claire a chance to practice it. Yes, Mel?
So that page 7 of Sandy's, the last tune is, I can't pronounce it in Gaelic. It's called Keep It Up. Was it meant to be with this group or not?
No, that's Sandy's version of this set, which is very nice. Absolutely very nice. But we're doing the McDonald version of this set, which is better. That's a great tune, though. Keep It Up. It's a wicked tune. I'm going to get Ross playing it on the pipes one of these days. Uh. Something like that. Wicked tune, though. Really nice tune. And it's a Highland pipe tune. We'll get to it at some point, but not right now. Anyway, so now let's try Sweet Molly. We'll do her nice and slow. Make sure we get her right. I'm going to get the music up so I don't confuse anybody yet again.
Dan, I don't have the music to that. Sorry.
I will send it to you right this moment.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Sweet Molly.
I don't have the music too.
Okay, Claire and Bev.
Thank you.
No problem. Claire and Bev. Well, that's not you. It's a different Bev. It's a publicist that I did not hire. McEwen. Well, you know, she said, you know, yeah, sure, we can do that. Yeah, that looks good. I can publicize your record. And by the way, my band has a gig on St. Patrick's Day. Can you do it? So I didn't think, it really didn't sit that well with me. You know what I mean? Anyway, you should have it there now, Sweet Molly. I'm going to put it up here so I don't confuse everybody. And I will mention that there's another kind of it's not a typo, but it's just a different way of doing it. When you look at the first part of this tune, there's 2 E's and then a B and an E. I play one long E there, and I always did. And the same thing with the third bar in. So instead of, I do, and so does everybody else that I know. I don't know anybody that does 2 E's. But it is, you know, a common way people sometimes write these things out. So I'll just mention that. It doesn't matter if you do 2 E's or 1. It really doesn't matter. But I thought I would mention it, because it's the usual. Okay? Anyway, so let's give it a go. Nice and slow. Good few times, etc. and so on. Oh, 1, 2, 3, and... Again. Little faster. Okay, how are we doing with Molly? Is she sweet? Or is she a bit salty? That's good. That's good. Anybody having any problems?
Dan, I have a question. The last line where it has I guess it's a trill or something they put in there, the two A's.
Yeah.
So it's between the second and the third bar, the two A's. How do you play that?
I play a double note.
I
play a double note grace note there, like this. See that? So that's the two A's in one bow, and you put your grace note between them. Or you do it in two bows. Completely different sound. It's more scotchy when you do it in two bows. But that's where it goes, right between those two A's. Now, there's a whole bunch of different things you can do there, but to me, that's screaming out for a double note grace note there, which is the Piper move. Okay? Anybody else have any problems or anything before we crank it a little bit? No? Okay, you asked for it. Here we go. Helmets on, guns up. Oh, 1, 2, 3, and... Again. One more. That's a wicked finisher, that tune, really. It's very, very nice. Okay, good. Now, Claire, you got enough of that under your fingers that you can practice it? You made some notes and stuff? That's good. Anybody having any troubles or problems when we went fast that you need help with? No, just practice? Okay. So now, let's move on to the 9-pint coggy that we learned last time. Let me get that up on my thing here, too. Any tune that I've been playing for a long, long time is a tune that I might screw around with the melody quite a lot. And so that's why I'm bringing up the music here. This tune I've been playing since I was like 10 years old. And and I still love it, believe me. But when me and my buddy Brian get playing it, it sometimes turns into a completely different tune there in the middle. You know, we bring her back by the end, but, you know, it gets adventurous. So let's go nice and easy there, everybody. Really nice and easy. We just learned it. So we'll go nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. again, a little faster. How we doing? Yeah? Got most of them 9 pints in there? That's good. Wouldn't mind trying it a little faster if it's feeling good. I wouldn't mind trying it like this. Let's try it about there and see what happens, okay? Just keep on firing. 1, 2, 3. One more. Okay? How's everybody feeling? How you doing with that one, Claire? Good? Oh, that's good. I think we actually learned that years and years ago, you know? No? Oh, that's okay. Great. Well, you're getting it good then. Anybody having any problems or difficulties that they need my help with on this tune? It's a pretty simple one. It's all about the groove, this one, you know? And when I play it, that's exactly what I go for. It's kind of like just a vehicle for a groove, I find, this tune, you know? So anyway, so there you go. So we'll keep working on getting that faster, all right? Any questions at all before we start learning Malcolm Finley? Anything? Okay, here we go. Malcolm Finley. Let's see if I can find what I sent you guys. This one was a hard one to find a good version of, but I did manage to. Malcolm Finley. Let's see here. Yeah, this one here. Oh, this is the one that Susan sent me, which is a very good version too. But this one that I found on thesession.org is actually totally fine. Let me just check it out. That's totally good. It'll do. There's only one real difference there, which is when I play it, it's the instead of in the second group of eighth notes in the first bar, instead of an E and a G, Most people go, it's a E, B, and then the high B. So it's kind of B to B. But this one here I've heard a lot of times too, and it's just fine. Yes, Mel?
Is there a trick to these three notes together? F. So it doesn't sound like what you're doing when I do it. Like I do it fast, but it looks like the last note is like longer than the other two. So is there a trick to how to position the bow and everything to get that?
You mean the cut on the F?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Yes, there is. The best place to play cuts is this part of the bow. Okay? And you're right. It's 3 notes, 2 16th notes, and an 8th note. So that's dig-a-da. And the last note is longer. So it sounds like the... See that? And so when you join it with the other F... That's how you do that. And it's only on a down bow that you can do it, eh? Cuts only work on a down bow. I only know one guy, Pierre Schreier, and he learned how to do them on an up bow on purpose so that he could turn around if he ever needed to. He could do a quick cut on an up bow and then do the rest on a down bow. And he said he worked like a bugger for like a week to get his arm to do a cut on an up bow, and he just uses it in case of emergency. And Pierre is a 2-time Canadian Grandmaster fiddle player, so I really do appreciate his opinion on the matter. But he is the only guy I know that can do cuts on an up bow, and he only does it in case of emergency. Okay, so you really got to make sure you're going down. That's the other problem with that. If you're going backwards, it's going to stop your bow. Okay. So for this tune, if you play the pickup on an up and then straight bow it, you should be going down for your cut. And then an up up, so that you're going down for the next cut. Now here's an interesting situation when you're looking at this tune, and you see this all the time, believe me. If you look at that E that's at the end of the line, and you look at the pickup note for the part, or for the next part, those 2 notes are going to be an up-up when you get to them. Because you got to play a cut on that E, and then the next E, you're going to play in an up bow, and the next note as well, so that you can start the part on a down bow again. See that? Very common move in these tunes. Now, if you look at the second part, we got a cut on a C. And you got a CE that comes afterwards, also going to be an up-up, all right? Then you got a cut on an E, and an EF that comes afterwards, also going to be an up-up. And then you got this C cut, CE up-up afterwards again, and then you have the same situation where we end on a cut, and we have an 8th note, and we do that in an up bow with the next note, whether it's the pickup note for the next tune, or into the A part again. That's going to be an up-up, okay? Now, this should really help you guys. If you're going the right direction for these cuts, they do themselves. Okay, does that help you, Mel? I will say, though, the biggest mistake people make when it comes to cuts is stopping their bow, like this. See that? So you do the little move, and then you stop it, right? And so it kind of gives you the illusion of the ornament you're going for, but it's not the real one. You got to give them a tail. See that? Nice tail. It's an 8th note you're trying to cover there, so it's really going to help your cut if you do give it a tail. It's the most common misconception I've seen about cuts. Okay? Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Let's see if we can get these phrases. Now, it's a single, so there's not much to learn, but I will show you the phrases. We got this arpeggiated thing. You notice how they are all notes from the E major arpeggio. You notice that? There's not one note out of the arpeggio there. Except the F, I guess. There's no F. Otherwise, it's a straight up E major arpeggio. And then we got the cut on the F, another F, little scale down, and you do it all again. And that's the ending. It's just a little quick F, E, F, G, and then a cut. Okay, so let's plod very slowly, as if we're walking through the snow, and go through this first line. So let's give ourselves a great big C pickup note to get the bow going. Ready, and... Again, C, D. All right, how are we doing? Anybody having any problemos? Yes, Deborah.
So on I guess the first bar, the second phrase, I'm playing something different than you, but I thought it was the same notes as from the very first phrase.
Yeah, he's playing something different.
Okay, so it's not the same. Okay.
In the very first phrase, I'm going to play exactly...
Bad teacher.
I'm going to play exactly what's here.
I'm just kidding.
That's exactly what's written there. Okay, so what are you doing differently?
Sorry, Dan. I think you were playing. I think for the second you were playing a B, an E, and then a high B and a G. I think that's what you might have been playing.
Okay, well, let's try it again. I'll be more careful this time.
It sounded nice. I really did.
Yeah, this is a little bit different than the way I used to play it, but it's still pretty bang on the money. So let's do it again, and I'll be more careful. Geez, that's a nice library room there, Claire. That's lovely. I love that. I think I'm hoping that's what my office is going to be like in my new house. So I have so many books right now. Okay, so we're going to go really nice and slow, and I'm going to be very careful to play exactly what's written here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Is that going better? A little smoother that way? Okay, let's do it 100 times, and we're going to crank it up a little as we go. Okay? It's challenging. The key of E is challenging. Here we go. Oh, and my tuner crashed. I wonder why. I was playing so out of tune, it crashed. Or maybe it felt it was unnecessary. I don't know. Redundant. That's better. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Again. one more. All right, we getting her?
You're still playing something different from us on the music. So it's the second, hold on, I lost it again.
You're not playing the E.
Yeah,
You're playing something else. You're not playing an E.
yeah.
I'm trying to play an E. Play the E. Play the
What are
E as
what are
it's
you
written.
playing?
It sounds nicer what you're
Well,
playing.
okay, so I'll show you. I'll show you what I usually do. I mentioned it there earlier, but I'll show you to be so you can make the change. So what I am used to is, and it's kind of cool, hey, because it's the big octave jump there. So basically, here's what you're going to do. If you want to do that octave jump, you're going to replace the E in the first bar. That high E, you're going to replace it with a low E. Okay?
Oh.
And then the G, you're going to replace that with a B on the A string. And that's it. That's the only change. And I do it both times. Let me show you again. And it is nice. Yeah, you're right. And I think it is more... Yeah, it is a B, and I think it's more original. I'm just going to check. Because Susan sent me a good... No, Susan, your copy was the same as what was on the session.org. I thought it was more like that. But anyway, so that's what I do, and that is what I grew up playing. And that's how most people play that tune. So
I'm not sure which notes I'm changing where here.
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen. You ready?
Nice.
Sharing my screen. Okay. Oh, whoops, that's good. Okay. Oh, and that's me. You don't need more of me. Okay, so this note here, instead of a high E, it's going to be a low E.
Okay, I think I've got a different version than you. Instead of E, G sharp, B, G, that second run of eighth note, we have a low E.
Yeah, ours is totally different.
A low E, a B, and a high G.
That's what I'm saying. Those are the changes I want you guys to make. So instead of this high E, it's a low E.
Yeah.
Instead of this
that.
G, it's a B.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, that's what we have.
That's what we have.
Oh, really? Well, what did I say? What?
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, Elizabeth. Let me see. I gotta check this out again here. That's what I sent you guys. That's.
Yeah, I think though. I think you might be playing the high E, like the.
Yeah, I was. I was trying to play it. Oh wait. Oh, good. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was confused. I was playing a version that I sent somebody a long time ago. So anyway, this does look much better. Okay, sorry about that, guys. The session.org is the worst thing in the world. Anyway, is that clear now? Can we move on to the second part? Okay, good. So now, the second part. You can hear, it's one of these tunes that is, you know, you got this first phrase, second phrase, first phrase again deal in most tunes, right? This one is not like that. This one is first phrase, second phrase very similar, first phrase again, and then the ending, which is from the A part. Okay? So the first phrase of the second part is this here. And it's great. It's wicked. It's like G-E-B-E, G-B-E-G. It's a really cool little combo there. And then you got this, okay, which is cool. And then you got the same lick again. But it ends different. It ends on the E. It resolves. That's what you call that. It resolves to the key of E there. And then it does the first phrase again, where it leaves you hanging. And then The A part to finish. See how that works there? That's how that works. Okay, so first of all, let's get the first phrase that ends with the C. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because now we've cleared up the confusion. Sorry about that. Anyway, so we got the first phrase. So we got is G-E-B-E, G-B-E-G. And I do not suggest you look at your tuner right now while you're trying to play this part, okay? Because those notes, the G and the B, are hard to grab on their own. You might see a little bit of red there, but that's okay. We'll just live through it. So let's try that first phrase. We'll get the pickup note on the up bow. Ready, and... Okay, is that working out? Now on your tuner, if you are looking at your tuner like I told you not to, which you probably are, then when you play that G on the E string, it's going to show up on your tuner as an A flat. Okay? Because this particular G is a G sharp. And for some reason the tuner would rather show A flat. So just so that you don't get confused, all right? So you should have a green A flat for that note. Let's do it again. F sharp pickup note. Keep going. So you see the small change for that phrase, ending on the E, you know, and the few notes that come before. Let's do those two phrases again. Same exact thing. Same speed. 1, 2, 3. First phrase again. A part to finish. And that's her. So you see, it's very simple. It's the same thing 3 times with a different ending. All right? Did everybody hear my really flat G sharp near the end there? It was terrible. It was the worst thing I ever heard. Flat as a pancake. Anyway, so that's why I say, you know, don't stare at your tuner the whole time. And I forgot to make you practice an E major scale before we started doing this. And I'll tell you, if you're practicing it at home, I would definitely suggest it, because E major is not an easy shape for the hand. It takes a little going over. It takes a little getting used to before you play. Much easier if you do it before you attempt the tune. All that stretching. It's a big change from E minor. Now you're going to like that. When we go out of the E minor into the E major, it's like, whoa, right on. But it is a challenge to the hand. It's a change to the hand. Anyway, let's go through all those 4 phrases. We'll do the whole B part now, nice and slow. And keep that intonation in mind, okay? 1, 2, 3. getting along, people? Doing pretty good? Any questions or problems at all? Anything at all? I'm here to help. No? All right, let's do it from the top. Let's see if we can get through the whole damn thing. The whole Malcolm. Okay, here we go. Nice and slow. We'll do it a whole bunch of times until somebody falls over. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Let's do it again. Little faster. How are we doing? An E major to work out, eh?
The only thing I'm finding is that my G seems so flat.
G, it's a G sharp, and it is chronically flat for a lot of people. So your answer to that, and you mean the one on the G string, or sorry, do you mean the one on the E string or the one on the D string?
The one on the E string.
Okay, that's the one that's always flat for everybody. That's the one. That's the offending party. So if you find that your high G sharp is always flat, do drop downs on it.
Okay, just a second. High G, so it should be playing a high 2.
Yes, a high 2.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to play a low 2.
You know, yeah, there you go.
I was playing a low 2.
You know,
and it was off.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. I was addressing this with somebody the other day. They were trying to, she was trying to learn, is a beginner, and she was trying to learn where the sharp notes are on the fiddle, basically, you know, and that's one of them. So when you put your E2 down in the regular position, the not close position, that's actually a G sharp. If you want G natural, you got to drag her down here. Same with your F.
It's right there by the 4 sharps, so it should have picked up on it.
Well, and there is 4 sharps in this piece, yeah. The other one that surprises people is F sharp. So when you put your first finger on the E string in the regular position, that's F sharp. If you want to play F natural, you got to drag it down to the nut. See what I mean? There's a few notes that are surprising on the fiddle. See, the fiddle is set up for the fiddle keys, right? D, G, and A. And that's why in the normal first position, you play so many sharp notes. But anyway, so that should do you there, Debbie. Now, okay, so that's good. Any other questions about Malcolm Finley? I know it's a handful and it's a hard key. Any other questions about it? I'll leave you to practice it then, okay? And then next week we'll put that whole set together. We'll play the whole damn thing and see what you think. Now, in our last few minutes, let me play you this tune, Johnny Wilmot's Fiddle, and you can see what you think of it. And if you like it, we'll learn it. We'll stick it at the end. Is that a Rick Wicked tune or what, eh? It's a great
What
tune.
key is that in? Is that an E as well?
E minor, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so because it's off.
And so look at this change. Isn't that wicked? It's so totally cool, and it's a surprise because people usually think Malcolm Finley is the end of the set, and then my family used to go into that E minor tune after. It would just get everybody. The house would go up, and Johnny Wilmot's Fiddle is the name of the tune. Johnny Wilmot was a great fiddle player from Cape Breton Island, from the north side, North Sydney, where you get the boat to go to Newfoundland. And he was what they call Cape Breton's only Irish fiddle player, although I guess I'm one of them now too. But at the time, he was Cape Breton's only Irish fiddle player. That would have been the 50s, 60s, and 70s, part of the 40s as well. And he was a follower of Michael Coleman. He played all Michael Coleman music. He made a record called The Other Side of Cape Breton. And it's supposed to be the Irish side. And it's all Michael Coleman record stuff. The exact sets off of the Michael Coleman records he records. And I'll tell you, it's a different take on them. It's a very Scotchy way to play them. It's beautiful and I love it. My family were big fans of Johnny Wilmot, and my dad was a good friend of his. And my favorite story about him was that he was a coal miner, and he worked in Prince Mine, which goes under the ocean like 5 kilometers or something like that, underneath the Atlantic Ocean. And so he's down there and he's got his oilskins and gear on and he's shaving coal, and somebody comes up to him and says, Johnny, You're never going to believe it. Michael Coleman is at the ferry terminal waiting to go to Newfoundland on the Newfoundland ferry right now. And I guess apparently Johnny dropped his drill and he ran the whole 5 kilometers out of the coal mine that was under the ocean, up over Goat Hill, where my dad grew up, and to the ferry terminal in his oilskins and gear and everything, and watched the ferry take off and sail away. Now, I love that story. It's heartbreaking, and I just love it. A good friend of mine that's a Coleman fanatic and a bit of a historian told me that Michael Coleman never made it to Newfoundland. He was never there a day in his life. So I'm pretty sure the story's not true, but I don't care. I tell it anyway because it's a great story. Anyway, so the plan for next week is the whole set. Any tunes that you're not really strong on, especially that last one, practice them up, see what tempo you can get them to, and then we'll work on the whole set, stringing it together, the seams, everything next time. We'll go right from one end to the other, and if you have the energy, we'll get that Johnny Wilmot in there as well. But otherwise, just work on these tunes and get them better. Okay? Thanks a million, everybody. All right, we'll see you next week.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.